All right, guys. You guys want to blow up your back? Saw I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? You want, this is the shortcut channel.
So this is not by any stretch of the imagination saying that these 3 lifts are gonna change your physique. Or they're like, oh my God, you're gonna get launched into like another stratosphere of development because you do these lifts. These are just lifts that I feel are very easy for people to pick up, and there's slight little changes and stuff that they already do that will help them develop and connect with muscle better. Because these are all, like, aside from the last one I'm gonna show, this is all lifts that everyone does. There's no one that bodybuilds or lifts weights that doesn't do these lifts. And there's no one that bodybuilds and lifts that doesn't brutalize these lifts in some way, in my opinion. So, if we're gonna talk about the first one, I'm gonna demonstrate light so I don't throw my back out again. Pillar of health is lateral raises, but like proper lateral raises. Not like, I saw The Rock doing them like that. I literally saw The Rock do lateral raises like.
Put it in right now.
I was like, man, you're fucking fantastic, brother, and you got a great physique, but that ain't it, dude. Can you imagine how good the shoulders would be if you actually did them well? Holy Christ, fucking be bigger than his head. But anyway, so we've all seen people do all their variations of it. The fucking hands fly up higher, the fucking leaning back and this shit, all this stuff. All of them have their place. All of them develop your delts. They're gonna cause strain in some way, like something's gonna happen. But if we do a proper lateral raise, what I deem to be a proper lateral raise, one, I think you're gonna notice that you guys are gonna get less injury and less like torquing or tweaking or whatever might happen, a lot more strain on your actual delt than like shrugging ability or like the ability to lift and pop my dumbbell, right? So like we've talked about before, we understand like we are forward and all this stuff. There's all these nuances and stuff for lateral raises, which we can get into. But it's this idea of just having hip back and having shoulders forward and chest up. So I could do a stiff leg deadlift right now if I wanted, but I don't because I just stay in this limbo area where I'm able to just hang with stiff arms and I'm rocking away. So I'm pushing away and then riding up. Riding up. The key to this, other than like the demonstration of like keeping yourself here, chest is caved in, there's no tension in my pecs. Do not keep tension in your pecs on a lateral raise. Do not get tight here and go, because all you're gonna do is get tight in here and then push that tension outward. I should have like literally a flaccid, like dead chest and trying to touch my delts together in the front and have this chest be dead. So if you poked on my chest right now, it's mush. Not that it wouldn't be anyway, because I'm fat, but it's super mush now. So when I go to throw here, it's me pushing away around a dead chest so I can keep this shoulder forward and locked and I can rock up through. Now the only reason why I can maintain this posture without being pulled forward is because when I set up the dumbbell, when I set up here and I'm here, everyone thinks it's just shoulders forward. So front relaxed, which it is. But people don't understand this back part of my lat right here, upper lat, is where I'm flared and I'm pushing my bicep into it. So I'm stuck here. I'm not putting my arms there and hoping they stay. I'm rounding my back from the side here so my lats are open and I'm pushing my arm back into it. So I round over, even if you cued yourself rounding over. If I round over here super arched, super hunched, and I flare my lats and then I pull my arms back into them till I feel them. So I'm not jacked up here, I'm still low, but my shoulders are so far forward, it looks like I'm shrugging, but my pressure's down on my shoulders. So when I start to move, I'm literally pushing my bicep away and my arm away off my lat. So the swing is coming from this rebound of my bicep hitting my lat. And I'm forced to keep my shoulder forward so that when I throw up like this and I bounce off my lat and I start getting momentum, when I go up and go down, I have to follow that same over path down. So my lat's still open here, I have to roll down over it again. because my lats stay flared when I throw. So when I throw up, it's here and then down, rocking. My lats don't relax the whole time. So if you're having trouble thinking like full lat open like that, front relax, if you guys can tense this insertion of where my tricep meets my shoulder or where my lat inserts in here in this junction back here, if I can understand that tension and flare myself here, then I can start thinking about everything else. But just don't end up here and then as you're going, it's this. That's why all this happens. Because people don't understand, like, you're training for the shot. I'm training to look good in a shot or to have shoulders and delts that are pronounced and like rolled forward or like stick off my body. If I don't put them in a position to work, so I lock down my lats and look at my arms, they just swing now. They don't, nothing's helping them. I just push my hand away and my arm locks out. If I did that here, I'm like, shoulders lift, my elbow drops, my hands lift up first. I have to force myself over, pushing my bicep and my tricep into my lat, move up through. That's why this chest lift is important, because if I can only use my arms, I'd only ever get to here. I want to get a little more height, I chest up, boom, back down. I follow the path of that arm down, right? So it's like saying, you guys and girls, like the example of The Rock. No one's telling The Rock he has a bad physique. No one's gonna fucking dispute that he's got great body parts. I'm just saying, if you see a guy who's has that type of physique that you aspire to and is so great and like has this development, you understand that you can grow doing all things, but there is better ways to do stuff. So if you try these little tips and tricks, like your weight might go down, God forbid. But ideally you should be happy that it takes less weight to elicit more stimulus than it takes more weight to elicit any stimulus at all. Because that's what's happening with you guys, is there's no stimulus happening as you're going up in weight. So you say, I'm doing chest press, I do 40 pounds. Oh, I don't really feel it. Well, you did it, shit. That's why you don't feel it, first of all. And they're like, well, but I think like, if I go a little heavier, I'll probably feel it, because like I'll have to try harder. It's like the trying harder doesn't elicit the stimulus. It elicits the stress. So you're just stressing your body more and making your body freak the fuck out and move this weight off of you. And maybe you got lucky and like got some chest fibers to fucking grab, like outer fibers and like whatever it is, but like nothing's focused and nothing's like, it's gonna lead to a problem, right? So that brings us to our next thing. I can't really demonstrate this with weight because my shoulder's still kind of fucking weird, but it's like this idea of, it's another lift everybody does, and it's a lift I do with all my clients, but I kind of preface them doing this lift by teaching them on machines my motion of like rocking through things and pressing. But everyone, you guys can go back and look at any chest video I've done. There's fucking, I don't know how many now. At least one. You can find at least one, if not fucking 12. But this idea that when you're doing dumbbell presses, it's, even if it's incline, if it's flat, I'll do incline just for the fucking hell of it, because I never do incline. If it's incline, let's say I want to kick my dumbbells up. I'm trying to kick dumbbells up. I get them here to this spot and I hold. Let's say we're set up perfectly. I get you guys like feet underneath, arch like crazy. If you guys have problems with your arch and you can't get enough, you can push your head and tuck your shoulders. Like if you've never seen anyone do that, I don't know where you've been, but like obviously when you guys lay back, if I lay back here and I'm like arch my back, people are like, oh, like it's just like push your head and tuck, push your head and tuck. Now I'm pinned here. I can't get any deeper, right? So understand that when I push now, the issue people have is when they have their dumbbells here, they'll start here and they're good, and they'll come up here and they'll go boom and they'll push up, and then they'll come right back down and they'll boom and push up again, and they don't let this sync happen. So it's like, my idea here is to get my shoulders to retract around this bench deeper than anything else, and my weight and my elbow are the balancer. So I'm trying to pull my shoulders. I'm literally doing a chest pull, a back pull. Imagine I'm pulling myself up. That's literally what the negative is on dumbbells. Just imagine I was here and I had to pull myself up with like a TRX. Those fucking like machine things or whatever, the bands. I'm trying to pull myself up into it, and that's where I'm setting my dumbbell. So my head would drift, my back would engage, and I'd be here. So I want to pull till I feel that momentum stop in my mid back, and then I want to rock into that bench and push off. I don't want to get here and start hot potatoing or like hot stove. It's like, like every time I get to the bottom, I'm just so fucking quick to get out of there. Do you know what I mean? It's like I want to feel this pull in and this sink down below the bench, and then I almost want to feel like I'm moving up the bench. So I use these feet underneath to get my body weight to rock up. So I'm not throwing head, I'm literally moving body up. Boom. My hips don't lift out of the seat. I move up the bench and I push. Push, and I pull down into here again, move. So I'm jamming out of feet, pushing out of feet. All you guys that know, guys and girls, when you watch powerlifting, there's a ton of foot drive. Like your feet aren't just these things that stick in the ground and like, you can like dance them around. You see people bench pressing and they're like this. They're like fucking Fred Flintstone feet under the car. Like, it's like, what? Dig your feet in, dude. Like, it's like, all you have to think about to get yourself in a better position is that like head push tuck, head push tuck. And eventually you'll get to the point where like this doesn't work anymore. I can get here, I can get here, I can get here, and then I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm kind of stuck here now. Unless I get myself the fuck out of here, right? It should be awkward getting up from a bench press. It shouldn't look pretty. If you guys ever watched a powerlifter bench press and they get out of their thing, it's like fucking like they're pulling, this guy's pushing them up, they're fucking stuck underneath. It's like, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be like, there are things from powerlifting that can transfer into bodybuilding in terms of like getting yourself in the most powerful or like set position, and benching is one of them. It shouldn't be just this like, the more that you focus on like just rocking this upper body and all this is just like able to do this the whole time, if I'm not based in the ground and able to move and generate force up through my feet and push, then I'm never gonna get as much weight as I could, right? I'm not gonna recruit as much muscle. It's all gonna become shoulder, because my shoulder is way stronger than my chest. My chest isn't strong at all. I can't do anything with my chest. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't like wrap cuffs around my shoulders and go, you know what I mean? Like, what does your chest do? It does movements of your body. It helps bring your arm around your body. It creates like the ability to do maneuvers and like move your body. But to say my chest is strong, like when I push, I'm not pushing with my chest necessarily. I'm driving with my triceps and hands and back. My chest happens to get contracted at the end, and it gets stretched into the depth and it fires out. So it's almost a byproduct of growth through these other things that are moving, right? So don't think that you're stronger, your chest is better or stronger because you're doing more weight in a shitty way. You're just moving the weight. And the idea is even if you guys have to drop back down to 40 pounds, you're used to doing 80s. And I get this feeling of like, when I'm here, I can get this expansion of rib cage, so I feel tight here. If someone punched me when I'm here, someone gave me a body shot when I'm here, it wouldn't hurt me, because I'm engaged. I'm tight here. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm tucked here, so if I'm pulling these ribs in and I'm tight in my intercostals here and I'm rocking, as soon as I fire, if you hit me here, I'd be hard as a rock. It'd be like hitting the floor, because I'm fucking engaged here like crazy, right? I think a lot of people miss that, but just more so also the tempo. So understand that like that tempo, depending on your ability or shoulder mobility or what issues you may have, guys write me all the time, shoulder issues. If your hands only drop to here, guys and girls, and then you're trying to go and pull them deeper, don't pull them deeper. Just relax that shoulder back more. So if my hands go here, I want to feel like my shoulder pulls a little more, I can arch a little more, and then I can drive. So the hands never really change their depth, especially on like an incline press. The dumbbell is only going to come to a point where the back contracts properly if you're doing it right. If you're doing it flat and you're just pulling dumbbells down, they're going to fucking go anywhere you want. You'd be a spaghetti arm, right? But if we're in a good position, we're arch, these dumbbells are going to rest somewhere. Then it's your job to like feel that contraction in your mid back and those shoulders rock back an inch more, move that hand, right? So don't do reps on dumbbells till that momentum stops. It's not like come down and go, whoop. It's like, no, up. I want to catch things into the bench, throw them off the bench, right? I want to gain inertia out of the bench. So don't think that like, it's again thinking that this whole thought of like tempo and speed is tension. It's not. Because there's no more tension in the world than if you're kicking up 75-pound dumbbells or 100-pound dumbbells and you're able to hold this at the bottom and I'm able to talk to you. That's tension. This is fucking serious fucking tension. My back is completely locked down. My lats are tucked in. My ribs are up. I'm tense as fuck. I don't need to go any faster. All I need to do is control that tension. Get it back here, control it. That's all it is. Tempo isn't bang, 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 bang. It's not that. We're not gonna spend a lot of time here. We've fucking beaten this like a fucking dead horse. Let's make it a cartoon horse. We don't want people getting mad. Beat this like a dead horse. Anyway, so the other one is like, the whole reason why I didn't come up with this lift, I'm sure someone else did. The whole reason why I started doing this lift, or why I thought of doing this lift, I'm not, like I've said, I'm sure someone else did it before me, is because I was doing skull crushers like most of my life. And I was like, man, like my elbows, because I was getting up to weight that was pretty fucking stupid. And like, I was in the same trap as many people are in, where it's like, the weight's got to keep going up because my arms are getting bigger and all this stuff. Like, but then I obviously had shoulder issues. I tore my pec. I did all this stuff. I've had limited range in my shoulder. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it's like, it's here, but it's also just here. And if I do one arm, I can get way more range than I could ever get with a bar, because I'm limited by my body's mobility. And here I'm just limited by my shoulder mobility, right? So it's like, I just started playing with angles on that. It started by just being like, basically feel like I'm in like a super lean and I'm doing a skull crusher. So it was just kind of like out here and just rocking like a skull crusher. And then I understood where I could like evolve and turn, and I could extend out more, get more range, and then rock off in the same feeling. And I can sit back in this pressure and throw whenever I want. So if I want to lean more and I want to feel more pressure, all I do here is flex more bicep and lift more elbow and fire, right? So we're not gonna go over that because it's fucking too many videos. But it's like those three lifts, or those, I wouldn't say the dumbbell press is not a lift. It's like more of a variation of how you should conduct yourself on a dumbbell press. But like these things, like if you add them in, we're gonna do more as we keep going, stuff that I see. It's just common stuff that everyone's like kind of, they're just off the mark on. You're not lost, you're not like an idiot, there's no fucking wrong ways. Like, it's just like if you just shift, like it's like you're shooting at a target and you just keep hitting, like you're not hitting bullseyes every time. Like you're catching the edge, like you're off sometimes, there's no real focus to where you're shooting. The idea is that we want to keep hitting dead center all the time, right? So if these little tweaks and little whatever adjustments can cause that, then that's good for you guys. And it's not to say that like if you guys do one of these lifts that I do, like this could be the lateral raises, you could stand up taller. You could still have this lat open and you could still throw higher. You don't have to be as lean as I am. There's all these variations you can do. It's just understand that if the more we keep this lat forward, the more I keep this shoulder forward. So I don't have this happening. I don't have this wanting to happen, and I don't have like this weird throw with my trap coming up, because my traps are down, my lats are up, and I'm out here, right? So it's even on the same thing here. If I do this, and you guys have a hard time, a lot of people have a hard time understanding the angle here. They don't understand the lean necessarily, because like I'm leaning. You can't see on the camera, but I'm leaning my weight here and here. So this is in essence a triangle here where I'm keeping my power. This up my lat, out my elbow, back down here, imaginary line. I'm creating a triangle that I'm basing off of. So you can see that as you're looking at it. I'm just trying to let this top end of this triangle pop up, extend off the top of the triangle. So imagine it's straight across. I'm just popping up off of it and then down, bang. So I'm trying to keep this base right here of this 45-degree angle, whatever it is, triangle, inverted. And I'm trying to keep that tension along here, down here, and an imaginary line here. So that I can throw straight and I can throw with tension and tempo off of here. I'm not like, you know what I mean? So we need to get the lat to open. We need to get the shoulder to set down. We need this tension here and down here. So we're drawing that triangle, right? That's the only thing you guys are really missing with that. But play with that on different angles, like cross face, We've done here. Open up your chest even more, like even open up your head even more. Extend off to the side if you want. Even like literally open up and be here. Just play with different angles, because that position of your arm being off your body and being above you like that is gonna create more stretch and more fucking freedom in your shoulder and in your tricep that you're gonna be able to isolate a lot better. Like that's 50 fucking, it's 20 pounds. You know what I mean? And my triceps a little pumped from like just demonstrating a few fucking reps. So imagine what that can do for guys who have like really good connection, really good like big motherfuckers who are still doing their thing. Like,
Okay, the rock.
yeah, the rock. Fucking give it a try, buddy. Like you're fucking shitting the bed out there. No, I think that people make the mistake. This is off topic of that, but I think people make the mistake of like they see someone like in bodybuilding who's super gifted. It could be like Antoine, Quinton, fucking Hottie. You can see all these guys who are super gifted. They were put on this earth to like be able to look like that. Like genetics bless them, right? And they see like guys like him, or even The Rock, who's like a genetic freak as well. Like, and he's on top of that an athlete. Do you know what I mean? Like an athletic person who's like older than me and still like way more functional and doing all this shit. So they see that and they're like, oh, I need to do what they do to like be like them. It's like, to an extent, yeah, but like you're also not them, and that's okay, and that's not a knock on you, but you're you. So like live within your means and like do what it is that like take stuff from them and give it a try here and there. But like if you see The Rock or like somebody fucking squatting with like 225 on the bar and they're doing walking lunges down a fucking hallway, and you're a 200-pound dude who's never even put 225 on your back, and you're aspiring to that, well, maybe understand, like just start with some like non-weighted lunges, and then we'll move up to that. Because you'll see these guys that are crazy and they'll put like the so-and-so's merch on, like The Rock's merch, like fucking baddest dude in the room or whatever, and it's like fucking, they're lateraling like chains, and they don't even understand how to do a basic lateral to begin with. For some reason, you're picking up 50-pound chains and go, fucking, yeah. It's like stropping it on your foot. Just live within, like, it's okay to not be these people. Like, I'm not these people, so I'm speaking from the same side as you. You know what I mean? So we're all on the same team here, right? Just like pick and choose your battles, is what I'm saying, right?